Patrick Graham here with the first of a series of Black History sound bites. Following my introduction at the beginning of October 2023, Black History Month. One of the places that I mentioned in that introduction was a place called Lalibela, which became the capital when it was moved from Roja. Lalibela, or Gebri Mescal Lalibela, his full name, was one of the 11 kings of the Zagwe or Zegwe Empire, who took over from the Aksumite Empire in Ethiopia and moved the capital from Aksum to Roja, which is now known as Lalibela. 11 rock-hewn churches were built in the latter part of the 12th century and early part of the 13th century, or somewhere around that time, almost 800 or more years ago. And the reason they were built was because at that time there was many conflicts going on in Jerusalem, and it was built as a new Jerusalem. That was one of the reasons, because it was quite inaccessible for Ethiopians at that time. And Ethiopia, incidentally, is said to be the oldest Christian country, who adopted it as a nation in around 330 AD, 4th century AD. King Gebri Mescal Lalibela, who ruled for about 40 years and lived till he was about 80. He built these churches, and they're quite spectacular. They're dug down into solid rock, they're carved out of rock, the greatest monolithic structures in the world. And even though they're not classed as one of the wonders of the world, they are a UNESCO heritage site. Some people will argue that they should be classed as the eighth wonder of the world, or the ancient world. So take a look at a sample of some of the churches. This is actually an aerial view of one of the churches, and the church in question is Bete Medhani Elem. I may be pronouncing that slightly wrong, but the spelling is Medhane and Elem Alem. And that translates to the house of the Redeemer of the world. And as you can see from that aerial view, it's a spectacular structure. But you'll also see other churches, like take this one for instance, which is Bete Mariam, which is the house of Mary. And as you can see, or hopefully can see in the windows, what appears to be swastikas. And, most people associate the swastika with Nazi Germany, but I can assure you the swastika symbol was used quite clearly in Ethiopia hundreds of years before Germany adopted it. And look at this next structure, and that is Bete Emmanuel, which is the house of Emmanuel. And again, fantastic structure. And for me, the most spectacular of all the churches is one that is seen from above, and as you can see, it's in the shape of a cross, and that's Bete Gigeros, if I'm pronouncing it right again, you have to excuse me, and that's the house of George, and it's spelt Giorgis, so Georgis it could be, but effectively in English it's the house of George. Fantastic structures, have stood the test of time. Some of them are up to over 3 stories high. As I said, they're carved out of solid rock, so they're not built in the conventional way where things are put together. These are monolithic structures, carving statues, sometimes I refer to them as, because they're carved out of one solid piece of rock. And some of them are linked through walkways where you can walk through to get to them. There's 11 in total, and they are, as I say, a fantastic site. Thousands of people across Ethiopia visit them each year, and obviously thousands and thousands of people from around the world also take the time to go and see what is spectacular sites. You can actually go inside them. They have interiors, so it's an amazing engineering feat, and 11 of them are various sizes, but quite large, and something spectacular. And that's the first of many little bite-sized Black History Facts. Until next time, thank you. From Patrick Graham, Blackout Productions, working in conjunction with Toxteth Community Radio.